So like Nikki said, my name is Dominic Kosher from the Department of Primary Industries and Regions. I'm the AgTech Extension Officer within the AgTech program. Today I'm going to give you a quick overview of the AgTech program overall that PIRSA is running and our sort of contribution to the AgTech space. So today's presentation, I'll pretty much go through everything relevant to the producers in the room regarding the AgTech program. So we're going to go through the demonstration farms, the Kangaroo Island demonstration program, as well as the AgTech Growth Fund, the virtual tours, some case studies, fact sheets, as well as workshops we're going to be running into the future. And tomorrow, a couple of KI producers are here that I'm going to do salinity and some water management. So we have 5 AgTech demonstration farms around the state. They're at Nirrayupta, Turretfield, Loxton, Minnipa, and Struan and Kaibi. Each of them are region-specific and to the industries that are in that region. So obviously being in the Barossa, Nirrayupta is viticulture-based. Turretfield is sheep and cropping. Loxton is horticulture and viticulture, being in the Riverland. Minnipa is on the Eyre Peninsula and is dryland broadacre, as well as some sheep production. And Struan and Kaibi are cattle, sheep, as well as some cropping. So the AgTech demonstration farm in a nutshell is to show what is currently commercialised in the state that a producer can buy tomorrow and implement on their property. The Kangaroo Island demonstration program is relatively new to the program, runs slightly differently than the other demonstration farms. The current demonstration farms at Nirrayupta and the other 5 are on PIRSA-owned property. So the land that you're on at the moment is owned by the department, and the property runs as a commercial farm as well as a research farm. Kangaroo Island is running from a producer's property and collaborating AgTech companies with those producers rather than being on PIRSA properties. So the real advantage of this to the department is that we can have the oyster industry as an example, where our farms aren't in aquaculture, but we can bring on those producers that we don't have the capability or current land to run those industries. So why do we have the AgTech demonstration program? So like I said before, is to show off the currently commercialised AgTech products in the state. So across the program, we have 72 AgTech companies partnered with the program. Some of them you'll see in the tent behind us. Hopefully you saw them over lunch. We also have 82 products that they display over each of the demonstration farms. So we assist producers to decide what will work in their enterprise and what management practices and technologies producers should be implementing to gain return on investments and the value proposition for their production. The aims of the demonstration farm, like I said, is to determine the value proposition and return on investment of pieces of agricultural technology. So we want to show you how this piece of technology will gain you money in the long run, rather than just the upfront cost and sort of you getting worried away from it. So we identify farm management decisions and processes that can be supported by AgTech. And like I said, we assist producers to identify what solutions are suitable to their enterprise to making informed AgTech decisions going forward. So moving on to the AgTech Growth Fund. The AgTech Growth Fund is a program developed for the acceleration of technology that are primary production problems, whether they're on the actual production side itself or throughout the supply chain going forward. Funding for applicants that were successful are at $100,000. And the purpose of these funds are to incentivise private investment into those areas that are struggling for some real industry problem solutions. So we're currently going through the round 2 applications, and I believe some of the successful applications have already gone through last day or so. But some of the round 1 applications that I think would be valuable to all of you to know about. So we had 9 of them overall. We had Flux Robotics, which had a mechanical weeder developed. Instead of using sprays, an AI algorithm can see over the top, detect a weed and pull it out without the use of any sprays. Blue Farm Intelligence is a traceability software developed by Amanda Rowe and Ken Rowe on Kangaroo Island for the oyster industry. We also have McLaren Vale Wine, Grape and Tourism Association that developed a GIS software to pretty much have NDVI over the entire McLaren Vale area, and all the viticultural blocks in that area were put into the GIS software and everyone can utilise it. Cropify is for broadacre to pretty much assess quality based off images through an AI algorithm. And one that I'm sure most of you would be familiar in the room and also a pruning comp winner is Amanda. So she developed her real-time bunch weight measurement device using the software, using the grant funding that we have. We also have AgTech demonstration farm virtual tours. So right now we're in Nirrayupta. If you want to go to Loxton or Minnipa to see some of the tech, you can scan that QR code and that will go to Nirrayupta. And you'll see all the tech that's currently on the ground itself, as well as some of the soil probes and weather data from each of those devices. So you can click on the device, it will open up some information about that device, and then real-time data will stream to it. which should be coming soon as well. So if you're interested in any of the things I've mentioned today, please reach out to myself or any of the AgTech Extension officers sitting at the back. So there's Ashley, Josh, as well as Robin. So we can come visit your property, or you can come to any of the farms. We'll run through any technology problem that you have or any questions that you have, and we can do some research to figure it out with you. Some case studies that we've developed for some of the tech companies, just a couple that I've mentioned there. Got Hans Loader, a vineyard manager at Penley Estate. So he has Athena IR Tech and has used it for yield mapping over his property to pretty much get a consistency of yield and production rather than having higher parts and lower parts of quality. Mary and David Morris are close by, are broadacre croppers. They use a weather station from AKA Primary Solutions. That weather station has given them data for frost events because they were getting quite strange inversion layers across their property. So with that data, they've been able to make better farm decisions. Ian McRae, on behalf of Settler Benz Farms, has Swan Systems and pretty much a whole range of technology that's implemented into that for water management on their property. We've also created some return on investment calculators on Excel for spray applications and water management. So if any of those are of interest to you, I'm happy to run through them in a one-on-one workshop or just hand them over to you so you can play with them using your own farm data. We also run workshops on water management, spray application, optimising grape quality, salinity management and reducing running costs. I'm running a workshop tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at the farm for 2 KI producers that have come down for the field day. So if that's of interest to you, let me know. I'll give you my contact details and we can talk tomorrow. We also have fact sheets on all the companies that we have in the program, and there's many more case studies and data that we have that I haven't added to that list. So if it's of interest to you, please let me know and we can hand it over.